Hello, I'm Jacob Chandler, and I'm a Boy Scout. Today is November the 1st, 2015, and I'll be interviewing Mr. Don Moses.
Okay.
So, Mr. Don, what era did you serve in?
I served in the Vietnam era from 1965 to 1972.
Yes, sir. What was your rank?
I was anywhere from airman basic up to an E5 staff sergeant in the Air Force.
Yes, sir. Would you point to the areas on this map where you served during your service?
Well, let me find this here. I started off in Texas and was, after basic training, went to California to Monterey, California, where I was in the Defense Language Institute studying Korean. And I came back to Texas for tech training, and from there I went to South Korea,
Yes, sir.
to Osan Air Base in South Korea.
Yes, sir.
Different culture when I got over to Korea. It
Yes,
was totally different than what we're used to here in the States. I mean, the people are different, but I came to love the Korean people and respect them. They were hard workers. They respected us because, especially the guys that were trained in the Korean language that were at our base over there. They liked us because we would speak to them in their language.
Yes, sir.
And we got along very well with the Korean people.
Well, I know during your service, of course, you were trained to be a linguist. Did you, what all positions did you serve at during your service?
Well, I served as a voice processing specialist where, we just translated Korean to English, and later, after I went through the Czech language, I was trained to translate from Czech to English, but I never used that but one time in my whole time in the service. Most of the time it was Korean that I used,
Yes, sir. Well, what all gear and equipment did you have issued to you?
Oh gosh, we had just, our uniforms over in Korea. There was a time during the Pueblo crisis that they issued us a weapon to walk perimeter guard in our compound, but they didn't give us any bullets for it. So we always thought that was kind of strange, we had to get out and walk. They just wanted a presence out there to where we could be seen walking guard duty. And we all took our turns doing that. But once I went on flying status up at Omaha, they issued us our regular survival gear. They issued us flight suits, parkas, different things, cold weather gear, because we would be flying through the Arctic a lot. So.
Yes, sir. Well, what all medals or decorations were you or your unit awarded?
Our unit in Korea was awarded the Outstanding Unit Award for that area for our performance during the Pueblo crisis because of the volume of translations and data that we processed through our unit.
Yes, sir.
When I went to language school, it was a totally different deal. We'd get up in the mornings before daylight, in the fog, because it was always foggy in Monterey. We would stand, we'd go out for roll call. And we had, I'll give you a funny thing that happened. The guys got where they would try to wear as least amount of clothes that they could to go to roll call. So, you know, we had one guy that would just, he was gonna win it all or less, you know. Some of them go out without their shirts on, some without their boots. Well, he pulled it off. He went out without a stitch on. Of course, everybody was giggling, but nobody could ever see him because he stood on the second row, and he was always there, and he'd always answer up. You know. But he was a character.
Yes, sir.
But then we'd go to class. We'd eat breakfast, of course, and then go to class, and we'd be in class we had an Air Force section, there was an Army section, and then a Navy Marine section, all right together. We had classroom. Of course, we'd take breaks, and we intermingled with all of them. I met guys in the Army, you know. One of the guys that I went through language school with is still one of my best friends today.
Yes, sir.
We've known each other 50 years, and still go and visit each other. You know, he comes to Gina, I go to where he lives in Sherman, Texas. So.
Yes, sir. Well,
some good relationships.
yes, sir. Well, that's good. What about, can you describe a typical day during your service in Korea?
Yeah, our days there were pretty busy. You know, we'd go to work. We worked shift work. We worked 3 to 11, 11 to 7, and 7 to 3. And it depended on which shift you were on actually how much work you did. You know, it just, we'd go in and we would do our work that we were supposed to do, you know, and then come in, and the rest of the day was ours, you know. Guys, normally they'd go to the NCO club or the Airman's club or somewhere, or go down in the, what we call the V, down in the village, you know, and just goof off.
Yes, sir.
I mean, we had a lot of time. We worked three days, one shift, 3 days another, and 3 days another. It just kept rotating. The time went real fast. Now, during the Pueblo crisis, we worked round the clock. I mean, I worked so much that I back then I smoked, you know, and we could smoke in our ops area, and I'd have my headsets on. I'd be typing at the typewriter, and I'd have one ear off so I could hear what was being said to me, and I'd be translating Korean, and I'd be typing, and my master sergeant came up to me one time. He said, "Sergeant Moses, it's time for you to go down the hill." And I said, "What for?" He said, "Well, look at what you're writing." And I was typing everything I was hearing on those headsets and everything that was said in the room. So he said, "You've worked too many hours." And I had. I'd worked 2 or 3 straight days, you know, with maybe an hour's sleep. And we were all that way. It wasn't just me. But it was kind of funny. I remember that, and then of course I went down to my bunk and crashed for about 12 hours. I was okay.
Well, let's see. What did soldiers usually do while they were off duty?
Oh gosh, it depends on who you are, you know, and what kind of background you've had, you know. Of course, I was pretty much a rounder when I was young. I had a good background. I taught at a school, at a girls' school there in Korea. I taught English. They wanted me to teach because of my accent. You know, I had a southern accent, and it just tickled those little girls to death to hear me speak Korean with my southern accent. I'd go in, and of course they have accents in Korea too, and the southern end of Korea is an island called Cholado, and I'd picked up some of that, you know, and I came in there and one day, and of course you say Anyang Hashim Nika to say hello to them in Korean. Well, in Cholado, they say Anyang Hashidang Kiro. They roll it out and have a funny accent, and those girls went crazy. But they always begged for me to come back and teach. And the rest of the things we did, we just, you know, the guys, we played golf. We had a good golf course on the base at Osan. If we could keep the slicky boys from stealing our balls when we'd hit them up the hill, you know, they'd run across the fence and steal our balls, and we'd get up there and we wouldn't have a ball to play with, so we'd have to just play from wherever we could. We thought we hit it to, you know. Call them slicky boys. They were thieves. That's all they were. But they could get under that fence so quick. We had a big high fence with wire on the top of it. You know, with razor wire on top of it. They run right through it. We couldn't get through it if we wanted to.
Yes, sir. Well,
but that's things we did. And like I say, we had shows. I remember James Brown coming over and performing in the theater. And that was a big deal, you know.
Yes, sir.
And I can't remember, there was a couple of other groups. Of course, the USO shows came over, and they were good.
About the Pueblo incident, at least that's how you said it, I believe. What all missions stood out to you in particular from your service?
Well, that incident, you know, and then of course there were some flights with flying out of Omaha that were especially vivid in my memories. I mean, different things happen, you know, that bring them to mind. Some of them I can't go into, but they were interesting. And of course, we flew. You know, we'd leave Omaha, and we would fly for 36 hours before we'd land again. And then, of course, we'd be on the ground for 3 days, and then we'd fly another mission down in the Gulf of Tonkin, down around Vietnam. And then we'd come back to the Okinawa, and then we'd fly home after 3 days. So we would be gone, about a week and a half when we would leave Omaha and come back. I remember one mission that we were flying, and boom, from the refueler hit the windscreen of our aircraft and kind of cracked it, and we depressurized real fast and had to land up in Alaska and get that repaired, and then flew back to Omaha because we'd already they'd already sent another aircraft to fly our mission at that time.
Yes, sir.
But different things, you know. I enjoyed the flights over to Lake and Heath and Mildenhall. I got to see part of Great Britain and Scotland.
Yes, sir.
That was interesting.
Well, I see you have